OK, let's get some more now on the row over UEFA blocking the Allianz Arena from lighting their stadium in Pride's rainbow colours for tonight's game against Hungary. Hugh Torrance from the European Gay and Lesbian Sport Federation joins us live from Glasgow now. Hugh, very good afternoon to you. What do you make of UEFA's stance?
Well, look, this is fundamentally about human rights. It's about whether or not you stand in solidarity with LGBTIQ people or not. And to say that you stand with our community is one thing. To be able to back that up with positive actions and to not prevent acts of solidarity from happening are really important. So it's really important to follow through with actions on the words that you use. Now,
UEFA's argument is that they support everything to do with the rainbow colours because they are not political. But the request to use them tonight is because it's a direct affront to Hungary. So how would you respond to that? So I think, first of all, it's one thing to say that you respect the colours of the rainbow, but if you forget about the people that represents and the people who are behind those particular symbols and gestures of solidarity, then that's another thing entirely. And I think it was very telling in UEFA's statement today that despite the use of the rainbow colour, they weren't able to address homophobia at all in their statement, and in fact the statement didn't even refer to LGBTIQ people at all. So I think that's a really important starting point here. How impressed are you with Germany's stance on this?
So as part of the European Gay and Lesbian Sport Federation and the Football versus Homophobia campaign, we've been pushing and campaigning for years for footballing authorities and people in positions of power to take a much stronger stand on these issues. And it's actually very heartening to see the kind of support that we're seeing now from within football. But I think that has to also extend to the governing body, and I think that there's a real double standard coming from UEFA at the moment around being able to, on one hand, promote equal game as their flagship policy around inclusion and diversity and accessibility in sport for all people, but then fail to support any positive actions on this matter.
On a slightly different issue, we've seen an NFL player, Carl Nassib, come out publicly, the first active player to do that. Does this make it easier for other gay sports people to come out?
I think undoubtedly, research done at European level last year indicated that the one thing that inspired LGBTIQ people most in terms of their participation in sport and feeling that they had a place within the world of sport was seeing other people like them coming out and being visible. So I think undoubtedly it's absolutely crucial that we see that happening, and all respect to him for doing so.
Do you think if a Premier League footballer did that, and then if he did that, before long we wouldn't be talking about it?
I would like to think that was the case, and of course it is very telling that we still don't have a footballer at the highest end of the sport who has actually come out. I think it might be some time before we stop actually talking about it. What we've seen happening over the last week or so with the tournament has actually been a rise in homophobic chanting and has actually been a rise in anti-LGBTIQ behaviour within stadiums. So I think it's definitely one thing to have that high visibility and support, but it's quite another to really get to the root of what's happening and to tackle it. And if we look at the Hungary issue here, for example, we're talking about state-sponsored homophobia, which is now starting to come into the football stadium, and that absolutely urgently needs to be addressed.
Absolutely. Hugh Torrance, a great pleasure to speak to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.